Davis Webb Wright and Eli Manning. During Giants practice in November, NY Post Charles Wenzelberg. The brakes have been slammed on the "let's see Davis Webb already" bandwagon. Don't hold your breath waiting to see him play, much less replace Eli Manning. As of Monday, in fact, there were no immediate plans to activate the rookie quarterback for the first time this season. Sunday against the Eagles, interim head coach Steve Spagnuolo, asked how he is handling Webb this week, said, "Probably no differently this particular week." Asked how comfortable he would be if he had to put Webb in a game, Spagnuolo said, "I don't know that I have enough of feel. I would have to ask the offensive coordinator Mike Sullivan and QB coach Frank Cignetti Jr. that. A huge reason why HC of the NYG is such a desirable job is because John Mara, every bit the believer in the chain of command as his Hall of Fame father Wellington, allows the football people to make the football decisions. But the end of Manning's Iron Man streak will haunt him because he decided to be a veritable spectator when Ben McAdoo imposed his half-baked plan that the greatest quarterback in Giants history understandably rejected. And now, he must not tiptoe around the painstaking conundrum that could very well be the last 3 games of Manning's Hall of Fame Giants career. Given the possibility these last 3 games represent the last 3 games of Manning in No. 10. The decision on if and when and how to evaluate Webb should not be made by Spagnuolo and his trusted defensive aides. It should be made by Mara, in consultation with co-owner Steve Tisch. If it hasn't been made already. The way that I'm gonna function, the way I think we should function, Spagnuolo said, is to take this 1 week at a time with the goal being beating the next opponent, and whatever is best to do that, in my opinion. By that criteria, Manning is best to do that. Mara would have to weigh the benefits of throwing Webb to the wolves behind that offensive line and a paucity of weapons against ensuring that Manning has a chance to go out on his terms with the dignity and honor that he deserves. It would give Mara the opportunity for a Manning mulligan of sorts. Let Manning finish what he started before it was unceremoniously interrupted. Now, if circumstances permit, I am just as curious as anyone to see Webb get his feet wet in Arizona, if and only if you can get to him up to speed with extra practice reps, finally. But then, under no circumstances, should Manning be allowed to be a sideline spectator on New Year's Eve in what could be his final home game as a Giant. He absolutely deserves to start that game against the Redskins. What exactly would any Webb audition tell us anyway at this point? How much impact do you think it would have on how the next GM values Sam Darnold or Josh Rosen? Is it that much more of an advantage to have him standing on the sideline as the second than there is him standing on the sideline as a deactivated player? Spagnuolo said. Well, yes, if for instance the Eagles, even with Nick Foles in place of Carson Wentz, have iced the game by the end of the 3rd quarter, or sooner. Right now, Eli Manning's the starting quarterback, and I don't feel that changing, but I don't know what next week is gonna bring, Spagnuolo said. It will bring 212, and more clamor to see the kid, just as there was shrill clamor for Todd Bowles to play Christian Hackenberg at the expense of Josh McCown. I thought Eli played really good football, real solid, watched the film, got us in and out of some things that probably only he can do, 'cause he's pretty special that way. Spagnuolo said. Even Manning will tell you there is nothing like playing experience to grow as a quarterback. You think you're ready, you think you kind of have the answers until you're out there, Manning said. And you gotta make some decisions. Are you gonna make this check? I think this blitz is coming, but are you sure, and do you know how to pick it up? Do you know how to have answers? Or what your assignments are? Or what you're gonna do under a certain situation? Where are your checkdowns? There's a growing pain to playing quarterback in this league. If Mara does want to see Webb, he should ask to see him in Arizona, and Arizona only. As of today, it isn't in the cards.